This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Guardian Radio Today is brought to you by Arts Development, CFAL, Little Caesars, the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, Ministry of Tourism, Nassau Motor, Original Patties, Prince Masters, the Progressive Liberal Party, Shield Insurance, Thompson Trading, the Work Center, and YKR Fashion Center.
Jokey leaders in a jokey town, a three-ring circus, what a bunch of clowns. They're joking and they're jiving, man, they're messing around. We got some jokey leaders, what a bunch of clowns.
And welcome to another edition of Guardian Radio Today with your host, Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. It is the 7th of April. It's 2 o'clock. We're going to be with you until the 4 o'clock hour. Happy to have those of you that are listening with us today. Of course, our phone lines today are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, the Family of Violence, toll free, 242-300-5720. Of course, the Guardian Radio text line is powered by BTC, and that's 422-4796. That's 422-4796. Standard text rates do apply. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. You can also catch up with us on Cable Bahamas channel 969. That's channel 969 for Cable Bahamas. Or BTC Flow channel 612. Channel 612 for BTC Flow channel. Our special guest today is none other than Dr. Rudolph Tinker. And it's an open line today. We can discuss some things. We're going to give you the chance to share what you need to share after this long weekend. Dr. Tinker, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, what's happening, man? Hanging in there. How you doing?
I'm well, man. I pray you had a wonderful weekend. I don't know. Y'all had a long weekend too, right?
No.
Capitalism must go on.
Yeah. Friday work day, Monday work day. The schools were closed Friday though, because I think the at least in Florida the Jewish presence pretty heavy here, so they don't call it Good Friday. They just call it I think spring holiday or whatever they call it.
All right.
So they take off for that. Years ago they used to call it, they used to give it a name.
Mm-hmm.
But now they took it off because of the argument of separation of church and state.
Gotcha.
But Friday was a work day for everybody. Monday was a work day. But for my tradition, I like to watch the old Charlton Heston.
Okay.
Even though they pretended to be men of color,
mm-hmm.
I still like that clip.
Right. That's what you grew up. That's what you grew up on.
Yeah, but I don't vouch for, but I the gal that always run to Sam to nuts. I think she might be the same gal, Delilah, the one who always throws herself at Moses. I'm like, I just love just to watch that scene right there.
Listen, before we dive into today's show, let me just get some business out of the way, just so people are made aware that the nominations are in and all eyes are on the Bahamas. The World Travel Awards have recognized the Bahamas in 13 categories, from leading destination of 2026 to beach cruise, diving, culinary, and more. All right, so let's show the world what our islands have to offer, and help our country claim the top spot. What you can do is cast your vote now at worldtravelawards.com/nominees. That's worldtravelawards.com/nominees. All right, this message is brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism. So, Dr. Tinker, we've been trying to register. We've been. Let me just first of all let me start off by commending and giving a big shout out to all of the workers down there in the various locations that are working up until 3, 4 in the morning, registering people. Right. My son, a ton. He's 19 now, so this is his first election. So I made sure I took
What's his name?
a ton.
Oh, a ton. Okay, I thought you say a ton.
No, a ton.
Okay, gotcha.
And he, we got there, the Gambia primary around after 5, and we left there after 12. Yeah, after 12 a.m. And it was an interesting affair. We had to make light of it. Play dominoes. Someone had the game on, the NCAA game.
What? While you was waiting?
Oh yeah. We had to figure out we had to figure out how we was gonna make this thing work. I also want to shout out the Chief Justice. He was there and he was waiting in line patiently. He didn't,
He didn't skip.
No, he didn't skip. He didn't
All
skip.
right.
He didn't really say anything. He just waited.
Okay.
Waited. Eventually, I think someone saw him and it was like, "Oh, come," and they kind of pulled him in.
So
but-
he was waiting on that then.
Well, I can't say he was waiting on it. He literally he wasn't making any fuss, right?
He had no bodyguard?
Yeah. Nope. He was there. I think that was his children that he was with. So I mean, he just waited patiently. And
That's a big position. That's the head of the
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the head of the judicial branch. So
Yes.
he ain't got no bodyguards. He ain't got no chauffeur.
At least-
the little
at
ministers and them want all his bodyguards and chauffeurs. My God.
I'm not saying he doesn't have any at all, but I didn't see any with him yesterday.
But
I
you
mean,
didn't see any there.
no, they could have been there. I don't know. They could have been there.
Right.
But
We had some snipers on the roof
you
hunting.
never know, right? And so, my thing is, there was a policeman. He was making fun of us because he was like, "Boy, by last year, the mall was empty." When it was time to register, you could just walk in the mall, and we just look at him and I laugh, right? And my thought as he said that, because I accept my I guess my procrastination in waiting till now to register, right? But I don't accept having to wait 6 hours. I don't accept that.
So let me so I gotta have some clarity on this. So y'all have so when the election comes, you have to register every election cycle?
No. What happens is if you're already on the register and your address didn't change,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
then you wouldn't have had to go through that process. Changed addresses, and then my
Oh,
son
okay.
was a first-time voter, so we had to go.
Oh, same thing thing
Yeah.
on this side. Same thing
Yeah.
on this side if you have to do that. Right now the big debacle here is the new decision now is to prove citizenship and your signatures must match.
Okay, right. So yeah, it's but the process is antiquated. The process.
So explain your process and I'll explain the process here. What's the process there?
So first of all, you wait for hours, right?
Okay.
When I got to the desk, and let me just, I gotta keep saying that the people who were there working, they did their best. I ain't trying to beat up on them at all.
Okay.
They've been handed a broken system to work with. They've been
Not digital.
No, digital, please. Your digital camera, maybe to take the picture. That's about it. Right? Everything's being written. Everything's
Oh,
on
my
everything's
God.
everything's on these I call it military grade construction paper. And I only say
that's
military.
out of the big blue book.
They had a book. I can't remember the color of it, but there was a big book that you had to, well, they wrote most of the information in, and then you had to sign off on it. And they had a copy of, your your voter's card. You have to go to the map to verify where your house is.
What?
Yeah. And that process took a while for some people because we're not necessarily used to seeing where we live on a map. So
On a map.
they're showing you, they're like, okay, where you live.
Yeah,
right?
because the system's manual. If it was in the system already, then
Right.
you didn't have to do that. Yeah.
Right. So you go in,
Okay.
they put in, your front door is north of this road, south
Oh,
of that
wow.
road. Write that on. Yeah.
Damn.
Then your picture had already been printed. They cut that out, put it on the military
Wait,
grade.
picture too?
Oh yeah, you have to put your picture on there. Put on the military grade construction paper. Stamp it. I only say military grade because the world is listening, and I can't just say construction paper. So
Right.
the reality is, after that is done, so my son, he had to swear, his oath of being a Bahamian citizen. The lady, I gave her props because she had that whole oath, like at the top. She was just spitting off the top of her head. She's like, I done said
Nice.
this a million times, so she did that. And after that, so that process itself took about maybe 20, 30 minutes. That alone, right? It's about 3 of them that were there writing in the books and stuff like that. And they weren't only processing me; they were processing 2 other ladies as well. So it was three at a time. That was my second time trying to register. The first time I tried to register, it was only 2 people at the post office, and the people in the front of me said that they had been there for roughly 4 to 5 hours. So that was letting me know, hey, dude, you ain't getting served for at least for another 4 or 5 hours. I left because I had some things to do. But I didn't want to wait till today because I can imagine the people who are travel this weekend, they probably gonna bum rush the place to try to get sorted out.
And when's the deadline?
Ideally, they're saying up until tomorrow, by the end of business day tomorrow. That's what I'm hearing. I someone could call and verify that. I just heard, I think Dr. Dwayne Sands was on the show with Mr. Shivago Lang, and he was saying you have until tomorrow, end of business day. But I wouldn't swear for that because once they make that announcement that the House has been dissolved, I think it is, then you out. So I would try to get it done today as best as possible because it's no guarantee that if you go there first thing in the morning that you're going to get it done right away because it's a very, very antiquated system. Now, my thing is this. Yes, people could have gone. My neighbor, and we was talking this morning and laughing, she said, well, I went like a couple weeks ago, and I was, because the prime minister had not yet prorogued the House. And so people weren't registering in numbers that they are now. And so we laughed because she had just told me that, and she said, I was in there for like 15 minutes or less and out. And then as soon as that announcement was made, it's like people was bum rushing. Now, my thing is this. Yes, we had from last year, September, to go and register. That's true. I take all my licks for waiting till now. I'm mad at that. The problem I have is these successive governments have had over 50 years to have a fixed election date. All this ring the bell foolishness, we've had 50 years of this nonsense. I still don't know what the bell sound like yet, right? Furthermore, we have a system where one man knows when election is going to be. Now, I'm grateful that the Prime Minister, he at least gave us some fair warning. The last election, that didn't happen, right? There was a snap election. If you wasn't registered, too bad. That's what happened to a lot of people, including myself, right? But this foolishness with ring the bell needs to stop. If we serious about being a so-called first world country, we should have a fixed election date so you can plan around it. Imagine people who are traveling. Imagine people who are in school. Imagine people who have work-related trips, business trips, etc. The fact that this election is going to disrupt national exams, All right. And I've heard people say, yeah, election is always being May except for this one in 2021. It's a bunch of foolishness. It is complete nonsense. You understand? And I think if we're going to be serious about not disenfranchising people, because this process of waiting 5 and 6 hours, I watch a lot of people walk off the line and say, I just can't do it. Right? This is an affront to democracy. And I'm speaking to both administrations. It needs to be fixed. You understand? Now I know on your side, how does it operate? Because you all got millions of people.
Yeah. So a little update on my campaign. So the
Callers
so
becoming right
Benioff-
now.
So I got qualified yesterday via petitions. We collected roughly 2,000 petitions. 1,391 got qualified. The other rest were rejected for signatures. They moved or they didn't. Address was wrong. Stuff like that. So
Right.
that's good. Saved me $8,000.
Amen.
So now I have a mandate by the people. We're stepping out of the gate with 63,000 raised, plus the qualified petitions. That's worth $8,000. So we're roughly looking at 71,000 out of the gate within roughly 60 days. So
Okay.
I think that's a good achievement out there. So this next 3 months we will be focusing heavily on messaging and handing out flyers and meeting people and speaking to every event that I can speak to get more publicly known.
Right.
And if I don't have a primary challenger between now and June 11th, then it'll be me straight to the end of the election versus the opponent.
Okay. So now, do these people have to register to vote?
So let's get to that. So basically, in the U.S., your voter registration don't similar like you guys, the Bahamas. It doesn't expire. The only time you have to go and register is if you haven't voted in a long time. It could become inactive. If you get a felony, you lose your right to vote. So if you rape someone, kill someone, steal over $1,000, well, you lose your right to vote.
Right.
For a municipal election, which is city election, for county election, and for congressional election, they are based on where you live.
Okay.
If you move out of district, you cannot vote in those elections until you update your voter registration.
Right.
Now, to vote for governor and president, you could live within president or senators. You live within the state, no matter where you are in the state, you could vote. For president, no matter where you are, again, in the state, you could vote. Once you're registered to vote. But elections that require special districts based on address, then you have to be in the system. So basically, we have many ways to update your voter registration information.
So
for first timers, you got to go into an office.
So that was
Show your doc-
okay.
show
So
your
your first
documents.
time, you're gonna go into office. You're gonna show whatever the legal documents you have, prove your citizenship or whatever.
Right.
And after that, is anything online? Is anything done
So
online?
we're gonna get to that now. So your first time, really, the truth, you really don't even have to go in. Let's say if you have a driver's license,
Right.
If you have a Florida driver's license, you can just go to Florida voter registration or voterregistration.com, update all your information. If it all checks out, they mail it to you in the mail. Right? So it's just like that. Because as soon as you plug your address in, okay, you plug your address into the system, it tells you immediately who's your mayor, who's your commissioner, what district you live in, who's your congressman, who's your senator. They tell you exactly where you fall immediately. There's no going to the map. Based on your address, you fall within a particular district because everything's already online. So once you plug that information in, you immediately go. Actually, here you have a computer in front of you, right? Go to just Google, look up my Palm Beach County Commissioner. Just Google, look up my Palm Beach County Commissioner.
Okay.
And then you should see an address. They're going to be asking you for an address. So you go, look up my Palm Beach County Commissioner.
All right. I'm gonna do the same thing on my end.
Yeah. Okay. So it says here, you should see just commissioner would come up there.
Look up my.
Look up my Palm Beach County Commissioner.
Palm
Or you can put, yeah.
Palm Beach County Commissioner.
Oh, you know what? Even better. Let's make it like this. Look up. Do that, and then and then you click on it. The county commissioner website should come up. You see it?
Yeah, it's coming up right now.
All right. You see right below that that bullet says county commissioner.
Right. So I see county commissioners.
Okay, right below that, then go find your district. You see where it says find your district? So where you have the big word says county commissioner, then right below that says find your district.
I see.
Click on that.
Okay.
And then now you have an address and a map.
Right.
You see that? So let's say if you plug this address in there, 16609.
Okay.
16609, Tangerine Boulevard. Like tangerine the fruit, and then you click on it. You see the address pops up, click on the address.
Okay.
All right, so the address pops up, and then now it's going to give you immediately, it's going to tell you, see the lady below? So it tells you that she's your county commissioner. Your U.S. congressman is Brian Mass. He's District 21. Your U.S. senator is Rick Scott or Ashley Moody. Your state house representative is District 94. Meg Weinberner, and your state senator is District 31, Karel Harrell. It tells you exactly where you fall.
Right.
Right?
Once
So
they have
this
your
is
address.
once your address is plugged in. So the address information is also in the driver's license system because both of those go hand in hand in a way.
Okay.
So it's very easy to figure out where you belong immediately.
We gotta do something about what we're doing right now because this ain't it.
Well, if they fix that, then they should also be able to fix property registry because all of it's tied in together.
That's probably why we don't want it fixed. Let me just give a quick shout out. This texter says, my mother, Adeline Fowler, celebrated her 103rd birthday on the 24th of March. Hey, that's my mother's birthday as well. With her 4 sons and 4 daughters, with grands, great-grands, grands, greats, and a host of friends and relatives. And they said, love you, Sudi. I guess that's what they call her. So happy birthday. March 24th is also my mother's birthday. Caller, you live here on Guardian Radio today. Let's take the first caller.
A pleasant good afternoon, Dr. Eunice.
Good afternoon. How are you?
And also to Mr. Tinker.
Yes, Dr. Tinker, yes.
You know, they say this silly season, you said it's open line show. They say this silly season, I've been voting now for over 54 years. I first voted when I was 21. Grew up in the Valley area, so you know that was always PLP. So that tells you how many elections I've already gone through. But this particular election, it really surprises me because the amount that I hear complaining about the cost of living, the cost of including light bill, water bill, grocery bills, political traveling, and all the things they complain about on how people are starving and begging for corned beef and white rice. But I don't know where the money is coming from. Because in this general election, I remember, Dr. Angel, you remember when the billboards they put up with little plaques that they put up on the lamp pole, must be about not even 3 feet long. Remember them?
Yeah.
Now, where the money coming from with all these, 8
larger than life.
Plywood,
yeah.
With all these printed signs and everything on every corner, every roundabout, every schoolyard, all over the place.
Yeah.
The money seems to be coming from both parties, all the parties. And all of them complaining about the money, what we don't have to pay the doctors and the nurses and the teachers and everybody. But they could find money to put up all these plywood and things.
Yeah.
And to the one when this is all over, them plywood will go to help the building of another shanty town.
My Lord. That's
what they can do with the plywood.
You think so? Well, Sparky, I agree with you that there's money being spent to put up these billboards. And ultimately, we know that during this season, money can be spent. You know what I'm saying? How where it's coming from is I guess the big question. We don't really have a a real way. Unlike Dr. Tinker, who got to show every half a cent what he spent. This is not happening here in this country.
But it's always a reason why they keep these things back. You know, when you have anarchy and chaos, it's the breeding ground for corruption.
Yeah.
So why fix things when you leave it like this and you could corrupt it?
Someone is benefiting.
It's one of the biggest reasons that someone's also. But I mean, why keep this system like this? You know, the Prime Minister was just here in Miami at Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach the other day, boasting how awesome the Bahamas is and boasting how how the technological growth is so awesome and boasting all these things and simple things as digital voter registration is not there. Property registry is not. I mean, all the basic things is not there. So I don't, so it has to be benefiting somebody.
Yeah. This texter says, as a people, we tend to do things at the last minute, then complain about the process.
Yeah, but it's not last minute. It's last minute because that's when they call it.
Right.
Is voter registration open year round?
That's a great question.
We need to find out.
Because I know when I was there last night, the lady said they were there from September last year. So they weren't there every, for the whole 4 years. So however long this administration has been in. This texter continues to say, many nights I went to the substation at the Fox Hill Community Center, and most nights the staff are on Facebook or TikTok because not a single soul was there to register a transfer. We all know elections are held every 5 years, give or take. As a result, we should not be waiting for the PM to sound the alarm for us as a people to do what we need to do. Once you move, you should transfer, and once you've reached the age of 18, you ought to register. So let me say this, texter. We should have fixed election dates. Let's just start there, okay? If we have a fixed election date, even if it's not an actual date, if they're going to say election is held around Easter, whenever Easter is, every 5 years, or if they're going to actually fix a date and say, May 12th every year, that to me is where it needs to start as far as making sure that things can run smoothly. If you're going to tell me that because we were able to register from September that wasn't last minute, then I suggest that in 50 years we've been playing with our democracy by talking about ringing the bell, right? And this idea that you can call a snap election, that's one of the tools in the arsenal of a prime minister, right? But let's say let's move all that aside now, and let's just look at the fact that the process sucks. Because even if I do wait until the last minute, I have a right to wait till the last minute, and I have to complain when the system is not working, and I have a right to complain when it's antiquated, and I have a right to complain when millions of dollars go spent in a system that doesn't flip and work. So don't come preaching to us on this text line about we supposed to go and we know every 5 years. We know every 5 years they playing with us. You understand? So I don't need to hear no one talking about we should have gone from last September. The system ain't working, man. Fix it. Back after this.
Great vehicle performance begins with an exceptional oil. Choosing the right motor oil for your Honda may seem confusing, so here's one simple rule to follow. Look for the oil with the Honda name. Using Honda Genuine Ultimate Full Synthetic Motor Oil in your Honda will enhance your car's performance because it is formulated and tested to meet exacting Honda specifications. Available now at Nassau Motor Company on Shirley Street.
Gold, silver, bronze, and Little Caesars, everyone wins. Introducing the new hot and ready 3-in-1 pizza, 3 flavors in one, pepperoni, cheese, and Italian sausage and ham. And the winning price, just $11, VAT included. Whether you're celebrating on the track, in the stands, or on the couch, The 3-in-1 makes you the champion. Available now at Oaksfield, Carmichael Road, Pineapple Plaza, Charles Saunders Highway, and Prince Charles. Little Caesars with the 3-in-1, everyone wins.
Pizza. This is definitely the time for BAMSI to continue to build on the progress that we've made. There's now drone technology. There's now year-round container farming. You have hydroponics. You have aquaponics. You have precision farming. There have been record numbers of enrollments, record numbers of flat fishing certifications. We've had record enrollments in our online courses. Students from across the family of islands. Because in BAMSI, we are not just cultivating produce, we're cultivating producers.
Paid for by the PLC.
If you think you can't afford to dress to impress or replace those utensils or maybe even upgrade your household appliances, then you don't know Y-Care's Fashion Center. With 3 locations to serve you, Y-Care's Fashion Center features the things you need or want, all at a price that you can afford. Open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Y-Care's Fashion Center also has the island's largest jean collection. Put the fun back in shopping and visit your favorite Y-Care's location today, where you can afford to look good.
Man, that's a solid Dickies suit set, eh?
Yeah, the white center got them in long and short pants. And they got shirts and polos in all colors for the guys and the stylish ladies' outfits for us.
I like it there. My husband is getting all the uniform for his staff from them.
Their staff good too. Helpful, you know. Everyone knows Dickies clothes strong, they durable, and it's wear well. The Work Center on Rosetta Street, across from Roberts Furniture, your leading distributor of Dickies workwear.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Must see a jokey place, 'cause all I see is laughing when I look in at their face. They chuckling and giggling like something sweet in there. We drowning in crime, boy, ain't no jokes out here. The parliament is a circus, watch how they just flaunt. Just juggling and jiving, say any mess they want. Watch when
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today with your host, Dr. Cleveland W. News III. Our special guest is Dr. Rudolph Tinker. And this text says, voter registration is available all year round at the parliamentary registration for all 5 years. Yes, there should be fixed election, but registration is available for 5 years. Thank you very much, Texter. Let me just hit this next text, and then I'll come back to you, Dr. Tinker. Yes, I agree, election dates should be fixed, but what we doing about it? Continue to beat up our gums. Well, beating up your gums is where it starts, at least, eh? You got to let the people know how you feel. The registry department is a 9-to-5 job every day, every business day in the Bahamas. Not only election time, but when they give extended hours, under responsibility is your own. You are totally wrong. Your son, 19, he could have registered from his 18th birthday onward. Yes, he could have. But y'all missing my point. The system is broken. If people still writing down on cardboard paper, construction paper, right? And you have a manual process in 2026. You missing my entire point. Because if I go there last minute, it still shouldn't take 6 hours. And I have a right to go last minute if my situation didn't allow for me to go from September or for the whole 5 years. Because at the end of the day, that is the amount of time that was given to register. Up until today or tomorrow until the House is dissolved. That is the amount of time that's been given. So you can't complain now when people utilize the time that's been given. Fix the system. Stop having people write down things and put it on this construction paper. And then tell me that the problem is the public. The problem is the systems have to be fixed. Dr. Tinker would say.
And then what happened if they lose this information?
Yeah.
It's on a piece of paper. Now you're in even more trouble.
Yeah, if you were one fire, one flood, now you back to square one. You understand? but they running on, but no, we could do this for 5 years. Yeah, but you writing stuff down. Ain't no backup for that.
I totally agree. They and it's been so long that they've been working on these things. And, when you look at England doesn't have the fixed election also, because you got to realize now this not having fixed election is a strategy for the party in power.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they could get the other party, when the other party down and out, call an election, win again, and serve for a few more years. So it's a strategy that the winning parties want to keep in play because it's something they could keep in their arsenal. So that's why they wouldn't do it. And that's why no party has not changed it.
Yeah.
Because they benefit from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's another reason why they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't put in finance, campaign finance laws because, again, they benefit it.
Right.
They benefit. Oh, no, but don't put that in because when my boy come and drop this million, I need this.
Right.
Yeah. You see what I mean? So they benefit from it. So don't mind them blabbing and talking and putting it down on their whatever that big book is that they print up. It's just a bunch of nonsense. Yeah. They're not gonna fix that. No, they don't want to fix it.
No, they don't. Let's go back to the phone lines here. Caller, you're live here on Guardian Radio today.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Dr. Tinker.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I want to plant a seed or give you food for thought.
Sure.
Especially Dr. Tinker. I am of the opinion, I had an epiphany one night I was lying down about my circumstances at my age. At my age, I'm 66 now.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of money I'm paying in taxes, I think the government, when you reach 60 or 65, the government need to ease up on you with these taxes. Because, let me give you a couple points. First of all, you had to pay for the bill. You pay the bank double.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're not an age where you're retiring. You got one foot in the grave and one on the banana peel. And you want to eat a little steak every now and then, probably go on a cruise. But it becomes difficult because why? You got to maintain the properties. The people ain't paying you on time.
Mm-hmm.
But yet they're taxing you religiously every day.
Mm-hmm.
But yet somebody said the other day they want to give a single woman $200 for each child she has.
Right.
No.
No, they said for each child? They said for each
I
child?
would have accumulated
I hear that.
would go on to whoever I pass it on, so they start collecting taxes again.
Mm-hmm.
But at my age, I think I should be given a break because I have fueled enough into the economy, and even in death, I am still giving to the economy by passing on to my children and letting them now. They're young, and they're going to start paying taxes on it. How much taxes are they going to collect off of one piece of property?
Mm-hmm.
So I think they should look at this now, man, because when they get sick, they're flown to some hospital in Timbuktu or only God knows where, and we pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am sick, and I got to wait in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I got to pay for this or go sit down wait in the hospital in my latter years.
Mm-hmm.
So when am I going to benefit from my country? Because, see, they told us when you were young, back in the day, this generation, I always tell them, don't get no land and house. Get an apartment. It's cheaper.
Well,
because the government, those are now taxing you to death on owning property.
Yeah.
And it's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for when you're young, you feel good accomplishing something good. But the way they're doing it now is not fair. You work all your life, you do put money in the system, you try to get something to put aside for your old age, and they come right behind every year and want you paid in the first 3 months and make you feel good by giving you 10% discount.
So how much is your property tax right now?
Well, altogether, I paid about $8,000.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Not too bad.
I need that for open heart surgery.
Wow.
Okay.
That's your yearly rate?
Yeah, no, they keep going up. Last year, it was
They go up, yeah.
Now, it went to 8 this year, almost 8.
So let me tell you what I'm proposing here that they could probably adopt over this. So I'm proposing in Florida that if you lived in your main homestead, well, at least in Palm Beach County, if you lived in your homestead, that's your house, your main house, for 15 plus years, and you're 65 and over, no more property tax.
But
give you a break.
Yeah, but
no more property tax.
My thing is this. I've been paying taxes on these properties from the time I got them. I paid the bank double. When am I going to benefit from it? I repaired the building. The people owe me sometimes. They leave the place all break up. I barely make it. When am I going to say, yay, hooray, I made it, I'm living good? When? And they jump on a plane and go to Timbuktu and get the specialists. I am stuck here with Princess Margaret Hospital and probably 1 or 2 private doctors I could afford. So I want to plant this seed in the minds of people, and especially the politicians out there. Think about that, man.
Yeah.
Because everybody ain't rich like them. One fella been there 40 years, going for 45 years. We can need to put him in the budget when he retires. Because what you got to pay him.
Boy.
You see, they benefiting around, and for me, who been paying and I'm hurt about this when I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's on one property, or that's all your rental
couple
properties?
I have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, all right.
I tried to be productive in my young days. I didn't even get married. Just trying to make sure I have something to pass on to my children.
Mm-hmm.
And keeping them up and all of that and making sure I have something. Because in the Bible, that's one of the few things I acknowledge. A man should leave a mark.
Mm-hmm.
But not for the government, for his children.
Yeah.
But now it is for the government.
Wow.
And they don't care, man. They tell you, and they giving you 10% like they doing you a favor on your own things.
On your own things?
Yeah, they spot you on the Bible giving you 10% off. If you pay early now.
Yeah.
You got it. So I wish somebody to look at that for me and think about that, man.
Appreciate it, caller. I with you on that.
So one thing that he got going on is rental property.
Mm-hmm.
So on this side here, the government gives no breaks on rental property.
Okay.
But they give breaks on your main property.
Main homestead.
Now your main homestead. Now what they can do, they say, okay, if someone but the same owner would own rental property, let's say for maybe 30 years or something, or 40 years, then they could give him a break. But at one point, that property has to restart so the government could keep generating money.
Mm.
So it's easier on your main property, and then once you die and you will that property to someone else, then that person start paying taxes again. But I've never seen jurisdictions where they put it on, they take it off of rental property now. What they could do is reduce it on rental property, because if you reduce it on rental property, that also lowers the rent. It should lower the rent for the tenant, because now the landlord is not in more expense because he's paying less of a property tax.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that they could look at.
Okay. This text says this is actually manufactured chaos. They say deliberately by the prime minister. Why you also out on the prime minister? They say he told us he wouldn't campaign during Lent. Then 2 days before Lent was to conclude, he announces his prologue parliament. This was deliberate. Then he smiles as if he says you have a few days or you won't be able to vote. These quote-unquote blind people who keep talking about how much time we had completely fail to see that this failed process gives us the poor results on everything else. And that's my point. You know, the system, I don't care if I had done this 2 years ago, right? The fact is you have up until today or tomorrow to register. So as long as you're giving me up until that time to register, people are going to use that time to register. So you should not have to be waiting. Now, I know we got the new biometric cards coming online, so that'll possibly, change things for the next time. So we're kind of in a transition. So let me just say this. Yes, there are people who are trying to upgrade the system. But this particular voter registration was an affront to democracy, because I watched people walk off the line. Couldn't do it. This is my third time. This is my fourth time coming to register. Was not.
And they got to go to work?
Got to go to work. Got to catch a flight. Got to pick up the children. Got to do something. Nobody should have had to wait 5 and 6 hours. Yeah, an hour or two. We get that. 5 and 6 hours?
Now, let me ask you this. You got during voting days, since you're practically only vote once a year.
Once every 5 years.
Right, once every 5 years. Is that a paid day off?
That's a good question.
Do you have a national day to vote?
We do, but as far as the pay, I think so, but taxes help me out. Taxes help me out.
Yeah, see if the employee is supposed to pay you.
Yeah. But I think they give you a certain amount of time, but the taxes help me out there. This tax say, good day, Uncle. If you look at 92 and 26, 1992 and 26, turns 6 upside down to 9 and 9 in front of 2, you could figure who will win the election. See, they got all these election ploys now. Who will win? All right, I hear you, Dexter. Let's go back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you live. Caller going once.
Uncle and Dr. Tinker, good afternoon to both of you.
Good afternoon,
sir. I almost missed this call just now.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
My brothers, I can say this much. Firstly, Dr. Tinker, thank you so much for the history lesson on how systems really should work as it applies to in the United States of America. I can tell you so much. I can tell you this much. For some of us who have had the opportunity to live in the States for quite a while, we understand their systems. And when you look at the systems and the metrics that we use here, you can see that our systems are nothing but deliberate garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And I say it like that because 52 years, I normally give the analogy. When you were 18 years old and you made your mistakes during around 17, 18, and 19, you think at age 52 you'll be making the same mistakes? Come on, man. This is garbage.
Yes.
This is what we call organized chaos because somebody is truly, or some bodies are truly benefiting from these systems being the way that they are. We have talked about with the age of modernization in terms of technology. To get your driver's license, you shouldn't have to go down to the place to go and get your license. You should be able to apply online and go pay online and pick up your driver's license.
Yeah.
Same thing with any other government document. You should be able to do that online.
Yeah.
The connection of national insurance, the bank, government agencies, that technology should already been interconnected where you make it almost like a one-stop shop. You do everything practically online, and all you're basically doing is just going to the place and pick up. We are still deliberately behind the 8 ball. This is no accident. This is all incidental. And it's people like us now who really think about these things and who have lived abroad for a while, and we see how things work. You can't fool us with this garbage. It's so unfortunate that a lot of our people are not well traveled. They have not gone to other jurisdictions and experienced how they do things in the other jurisdiction. That's why they keep on swallowing the nonsense that our people here keep giving them as if this is the best that we can do. I will close on this. My new mantra is the Bahamas is a first world country, but we have third world thinkers.
Wow.
And until we can get our people to think outside that glass ceiling, that stop thinking that you're third world and think of you being a first world and behave in that manner, then our systems, and we can begin to demand from our employees, the person sitting in Parliament, in a manner that we should be able to demand of them to get our work done efficiently and proficiently, and nothing's going to change in this country, okay? Yeah. Thanks for taking my call today.
Thank you very much, caller. Dr. Tinker, the taxi says no, you don't get a paid day off. You get 2 hours break plus your lunch. 2 hours break.
Well, dog, eat your lunch on that line.
Now, let me just say, my experience with voting has been pretty smooth. The times that I've voted, I've been able to go in, and I haven't had a long wait on the line. That's been my experience. I can't speak for everybody else. But so the voting has not been so much of an issue for me as far as in this instance, because I've done the go way before time and register. I've done that before, So I'm happy I've had this experience of waiting till the last minute, where you could really see the system under some real. Because that's when you are able to see strength and the weaknesses of a system. You got to put it under some pressure, and unfortunately, it's failing. It's failing miserably.
Yeah, these systems are things when you talk about a progressive government to make things easier. These are some of the basic things they should be fixing. But I always bring it back to like all these outside the jurisdiction, but they just wouldn't fix these issues, man, because again, they benefit from it. Right. No need to fix something that you benefit from, that you want broken in times of election.
Right.
That's why no side would fix it, because they can rely on this broken system to help them win an election.
Yeah. This texter says, sir, are you aware that the government systems have been in a total mess for decades? Yes. We have persons who never ran anything in their lives. Why are we surprised?
Running the government.
Yeah.
And they said, and as soon as they went, they became all high and mighty. They know everything.
Experts.
The minister, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honorable, the minister of so-and-so, John Doe. I know it all. It is amazing. It's just amazing how happy. Let me tell you, I go on by the Elizabeth Sports Center to pick up to get a driver's license. The license expire.
Right.
So you go to pick a ticket to get on the line. You get on the line, you walk in the door. Why are you here for my driver's license? All right, sit right there, pick a number, grab another number. Okay, what are you here for? I need to get my driver's license. Okay, here's this little receipt. You in to get your license. Sit over there, wait they can call you. Go to wait they can call. All right, they charging you for the license. Okay, here's this ticket. Go by the cashier and.
Yeah. You're coming in and out.
Say.
Let's see if we can get him squared away. But I get the point. You know, I had somebody who went to pick up their driver's license recently. They paid for it and had to come back a whole week afterwards, right? I don't know why it takes so long.
You can hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was a total ring-a-rang-a-rosy with a bucket full of toesies over there. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So I was just, like I was saying, somebody went and paid for their driver's license, and I thought by the next day they would have gotten it. And they say no, I had to come back a whole week afterwards. So I don't know why it takes so long. And again, the people who are working in these places, they're doing their best in many instances. Now, of course, you got some slackers in there. You got some people who, don't care. You got them, right? But I think for the most part, these people, they working with a broken system. They got to do what is in the front of them, right? And so I applaud again those people who, I was applauding the ladies on their need handwriting. Still writing up those
Nobody had a computer.
Oh, the only person who had the computer was the person who was dealing with the pictures, because they did take some digital pictures and they printed them. But
I always say this is probably for them to create jobs, but you can't just create crazy jobs at the detriment of the country, man.
No, we got to fix it. Let's go back to the phone lines here in Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Hey, Hank, how you doing?
Great, man. Thanks for calling.
Our underlying problem, right, is that the persons we see as being as a part of the status quo, their salary comes from the public treasury. Everything is attached to the public treasury. And that's where our problem is.
Yeah.
Now, as long as those folks are comfortable, our system stays in play.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have 700 million each year. Our debt servicing is $700 million.
Wow.
Okay, each year. Okay, now I don't know if figures. And I think say like 100 million is borrowed each year to pay, for government salaries. Now, that doesn't include all this contract nonsense we are dealing with. It's something that your guest, he could probably, like speak on. We are still living on a plantation system. We are still members of, and until we decide to get off the plant, until we decide to get off the plantation, nothing changes.
Yeah, I appreciate it, caller. We got to run.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
he had a good point there, but go ahead if you're going to break.
Yeah, no, we got to run to the break. We got to pay some bills. We got to go to the news break. Caller, we see you. I guess you can call back right after the break, or you can hold. But our special guest today is Dr. Rudolph Tinker. My name is Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. Back after this.
We got some jokey leaders. What a bunch of clowns. Yes! Clowns! Look at him!
It's back. Agri-Expo 2026, presented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, April 10th through 12th at the Gladstone Road Agriculture Center. Agriculture, our heritage, our future, comes alive with the latest farming exciting cooking demonstrations and competitions, Bahamian farmers and vendors from across the islands, fun for the kids at the Kitty Corner, nightly musical concerts, and free admission for everyone. Bring the whole family and celebrate what feeds our nation. Agri-Expo 2026. Let's get growing.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at CFAL.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
CFAL is a proud sponsor of Team Bahamas for the 2026 Carifta Games.
All right, now the last people supposed to answer this, either their brain was freeze or a couple of screws was loose.
Not me, bro. I sharp. I get this.
Yeah, you sharp as a button.
All right, I can see just how sharp y'all is, because you skip a button on your shirt. Well, anyhow. All right, question is, it doesn't rust, no corrosion, it's lighter and stronger than its opponent. What is it?
I know this. I know, but it's steel?
Nope. Wrong answer. Fiberglass rebar. Y'all ain't sharp.
I go on and say that, no. You don't even know what that means.
All right, here's what makes fiber rebar a no-brainer compared to steel. It don't rust. Steel rebar does rust and crack up your wall like biscuit. 2, fiber rebar is lighter than steel. Steel rebar is way more heavier, so that means it costs you more money and labor. And 3, coated steel is more expensive than fiber rebar. And with cheap steel, you still have to paint it. Still costs you money. For more information, call Art Heavy Equipment and Development today at 603-4506 or 822-9527. Fiber rebar is better than steel.
Patties, cakes, breads, and pastries. Nothing compares to the original. Yes, at Original Patties Bakery, try the mouth-watering daily specials. Jerk chicken and pork every day. Chicken and mutton roti weekend specials. Beef, chicken, tuna, and vegetable patties. Escovitch fish, Mondays and Wednesdays. Visit Original Patties, Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Howard Road. Blue Hill Road location, 6:45 a.m. to 11 p.m. Call 341-1871 or 341-6552. Original Patties Bakery, where quality is always job number one. This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
We got some jokey leaders in a jokey town. A three-ring circus, what a bunch of clowns. They're joking and they're jiving and they're messing around. We got some jokey leaders, what a bunch of clowns.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today with your host, Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. A special guest, Dr. Rudolph Tinker. And it's an open line. We've been talking about this process of voter registration. Let me just say yes for those people who waited till the last minute, so, like me, right? I wasn't on the line with no bumps, all right? I was on the line with people like Sir Ian Winder, the Chief Justice, all right? So some of these people who throwing around these passive-aggressive remarks about, well, you should have done it for a long time. Wasn't bums on the line. Wasn't no bums. wasn't a bunch of lazy, incompetent people who just waited till the last minute.
Chief Justice was on the line.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. And he waited.
He waited.
You understand? Dr. Tinker, another point a texter is raising. They say, good afternoon. And I'm coming to you right now, callers. Good afternoon. Because there's no fixed election date, I made plans to be out of the country during the month of May. I'll be in South Carolina and would like to participate in the general election. They say, do you know where can I go
Sure,
and
embassy.
vote? Yeah. So
To the embassy or one of the consulate's office. The closest place could be Atlanta for that person. Or if they could make it to D.C., and they should be able to vote like that.
yeah. Now, my research also shows that they're saying, I'm just pulling it up, they're saying that the people who normally have this privilege, they say, are students, Bahamians currently studying full-time at a college and university, government officials like Bahamian staff at an embassy, high commission, or a permanent mission, along with their spouses, and the foreign service personnel, other public officers working for the government outside of the Bahamas. So I don't know if a person just traveling has that right. But in any event, they say you would have to apply to vote abroad. You must submit an application for enrollment as an overseas voter, which is Form J. Application must reach the Parliamentary Commission within 7 days of the issue of the writ of election. Since the writ is scheduled for April 9th, 2026, your application must be submitted shortly thereafter. Right? So, yeah, Texter, you're listening, you got to call the embassies and see what you can do in your position. But let's run to these callers been waiting over the break. So, caller, you're live here on Guiding Radio today.
Hey, Uncle, how are you, Doc?
How you doing, sir?
Good, man. Thanks for calling.
All right. One of the things I want to just touch base with you guys on is this. With the parliamentary register, the department, is there any idea on a day-to-day basis how many staff members do they actually have? The reason why I'm asking that is, have they been training persons or hiring persons temporarily or taking other government employees and training them in preparation for this season coming up? That's point number one. That's that. And then non-related to the election, Mr. Tinker, what do you think is going to happen with President Trump and today and this decision, possibly with Iran?
All right, I'll take
A
that.
lot of people ain't thinking about that or even remembering that.
Yeah, no, I was going to bring that up. I was just waiting to see, let them get this election out. No, that's a pretty good point. So basically, when you look at what's going on right now, I think it's a lot of hot air, because if he does carry out an attack and there are innocent civilians there, you violate a lot of Geneva Convention rules on the book, which carry prosecution as war against humanity, which humanity issues. And I think right now, I can't remember the name of the senator, but one of the senator was making little video clips and telling soldiers that they could disobey an order if they deem it unlawful, which is true in the Geneva Convention. And when you swear, because you swear to the Constitution and you don't swear to a person, it tells you that you could disobey a lawful order. So he might face a situation where the Air Force members, the Navy members don't carry out these attacks if they know they're going to be killing innocent people. Because if Iran decides to put a human ban around their critical infrastructure, and you could see these people and you go ahead and attack it, crime against humanity right there, very clear.
That's exactly what they're doing.
They're very clear. And then on top of that, if the soldiers do decide not to carry out attacks, well, that's a huge indictment on the president. And if they do carry out the attack, there's a good chance that the president will be impeached, probably not now because it's controlled heavily by Republicans, but definitely in November. So it's one of those chances he's taken. The world's watching. And you're going to see now, the United States is not going to be able to open them out and tell other people like Russia and Korea and all these other people talking about crime against humanity, because now you have the top dude in the United States committing the same crime. So it's setting a bad precedent worldwide if it happens. So I think he's going to stand down tonight.
Wow.
And he's being highly advised
to do
probably to stand down.
Yeah. Wow. Let's go back to the phone lines here. Call you live. Call you live. You may have to turn your radio down.
I'm cool.
How you doing, man? Thanks for
Good
calling.
afternoon. How you doing, sir?
Great, man.
Yeah, listen to Brother Tinker. He switched from a Republican to a Democrat, so I don't expect him. I guess he support open border.
What do you mean he switched? Why you say he switched?
He support open border. He support sanctuary states, and he support these illegal immigrants all through the country. Because he's a Democrat. But anyhow, let me make, let me make this point, right?
Go ahead.
For me, in this election, Anku,
yeah,
immigration and healthcare are my two major issues.
Yeah.
And I have to vote for the individual or individuals who can address these two vexing problems.
Okay.
Now, I have a question for the Prime Minister, because it appears that he is running in 41 different constituencies. all over the place.
So, Dr. Tinker, the Prime Minister picture is on every candidate's poster. That's why he's saying that.
And he's running in 41 different constituencies, right? It appears that way. But, Anku, we had 6 flights. I am very concerned. On a more serious note, I'm more concerned about the amount of foreigners disguised as Bahamians who will be voting in our elections, our upcoming elections.
Wow.
If I were a candidate, everybody would have voted on a protested ballot. You know, if I were a candidate in this election, I couldn't trust it. This is going to be one of the most unsafe elections in the modern era.
Wow.
I believe that too many foreigners will be participating in our general elections. But now, I'll say this though. We've had 6 flights, an average of 6 flights, coming in from bringing in tourists from Haiti, because that's what they in Monroe, they call them tourists. You know, I would like to know, to the Prime Minister who is running in 41 different constituencies, how many of these tourists left the Bahamas? Because, you know, Haiti has the highest concentration of persons. I think, you know, these countries average between 80 and 90% of them who enter a country who doesn't leave. So we'd like to know how many persons were given citizenship, if any, of these tourists. Were any given work permit? Were any given permanent residence and status to be in the Bahamas? These are questions. See, they're touting they deported some or repatriated some 15,000. They have the numbers on that. Could we get the numbers on those questions that I would have raised? They're very critical. But they're not going to give you them questions. They're not going to give you the answer to these questions, you know.
Wow.
They're not going to give you the answer because we head down the stretch. But it's very disturbing to me what is happening with immigration and healthcare in this country. And we need the authorities, we need the Bahamian electorate to be wise. You know, I'm not talking about no one who is pushing a Haitian policy. We need someone who's going to push an immigration policy similar to what Trump is doing. He seems to be too hardcore for Dr. Tinker, so he decided to be a Democrat, you know? But
sound like you voted for Lincoln Beatty.
I got a job in, you know? You know, but the question is, you know, we've got to address these very important questions because we are laughing today, you know, in terms of these people voting.
What you're saying is very serious. What you're saying is very
but
serious.
They definitely...
What is this guy name?
In the next election, I will be surprised if they won't be running. And then we lose the Bahamas forever.
Yeah, appreciate you, Cleaver.
All right.
Oh, that's Cleaver.
Yeah, that's Cleaver, man. Yeah, that's why he poking at you. So, Dr. Tinker, how I know in America they are very adamant about people proving their citizenship. How are they going about doing that?
So for voting?
Yeah.
So basically, on the Florida driver's license, they had a star in the right column, and once you have that star was supposed to represent that you're officially certified, and you have all you're a citizen, or at least you're good to go. So now they're saying, on the new driver's license now, which they just passed a law in Florida, they want to put U.S. citizen on the driver's license.
Oh, like the word itself.
The word U.S. citizen.
Okay.
So you will need that and register for the stuff to go and be able to vote. Okay. But the voter registration card for us doesn't have your picture on it. It's just a piece of paper.
Really?
Yeah, it's a piece of construction paper. That's all it is.
So y'all have the military grade construction paper too? Okay.
Military grade. That's all it is, a piece of paper, and all it has on it is your name, your voter registration number, and all the areas where you could vote and who you could vote for.
The U.S. of A, my Lord.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
But when you go to the voting booth, you have to take that and another form of ID to get in.
Ah, okay.
And then your signatures have to match, basically.
This texter says, I simply do not understand the need to take pictures if this is the last election for paper cards and time is a major issue. Why block up the process by introducing the need to produce a new wasted transfer of address? Simply change the constituency and put a dated office seal over it. Who is doing the thinking? You know, one of the things that I thought may have helped to move things along quicker is if you just had first-time voters and you had another line for people who are transferring, which is something that they started to do eventually. They started to say, okay, who are the people who are transferring? And they kind of pull them to the side and did their transfers, and then the people who had to maybe change their address or who were first-time voters, and they dealt with them separately. So the people on the ground, they just working with a broken system. Because I'm just glad, and we laughed about it while I was there, right? Because the place is filled with women, our beautiful Bahamian, intelligent women. If that place was filled with men, you wouldn't have been able to read them. You wouldn't have been able to read these cards. We would had some illegible handwriting, and I didn't know if the pictures would have make it on there because the women were patient, the women were kind, the women were respectful. I'm not saying that's the case in every situation, but I was glad to see the places, the Bahamian women, they was holding it down inside the places where I went to. When I went to the post office, the lady who was at the front, she was very accommodating. She was trying to keep people laughing, So big ups to our Bahamian women, because we can't do this without y'all. Without y'all, I don't know where we would be, especially in this process of registering to vote. Let's go back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Hey, good afternoon. How y'all doing, man?
Great, man. Thanks for calling.
Is open line?
Yeah, man.
I have a question I want to ask.
Sure.
The previous caller, right? Because I've been listening to talk shows for years. But he always, he sticks on the same issue, right? And I feel like, why is it that, okay, first of all, here's the question I want to ask you, right? Do you think that there's any Haitians in this country that's legal?
That are legal?
Yes.
Of course. Of course.
Because there's always a false narrative, like, of what the caller used a while ago on the last call, saying that there are 6 flights coming in from Haiti, right? Of persons. How do you that those persons aren't legal to travel? Like he has a false narrative, like a fallacy he's throwing out there that those flights coming in are with persons who are not going back to Haiti, right? And then what's crazy, because I know him for years, right? He's a Duncombe, right? Why is there like a psyche that's left, like way left in this country? It's like persons of Haitian descent, Bahamians of Haitian descent in this country, right? It's amazing that young man or that gentleman, he's of Haitian descent, right? He don't know his roots, man.
So
right?
Duncombe is a Haitian name, that's what you said?
Sir, I would like to I know you. So one day I want to come and be in town, and I'm going to present you some information. Okay?
All right, so we
Duncombe is a French name, man.
Okay.
If it's French,
Oh
it's
boy,
more likely-
Duncombe done upset now.
Okay?
Duncombe.
It's amazing to me.
But
man. It's amazing.
let me ask you this though, caller.
So how you pronounce it? Duncombe?
Duncombe.
Duncombe.
Duncombe. So you
Oh.
pronounce okay. So when he leave a call back
Once
here,
you
we gotta
see
correct
a
him.
last
We gotta help
name
him
ends
pronounce
with
your name.
COLMD or whatever, it's French.
That's French. Okay.
It's amazing that these guys don't know their past. They
My
don't know who
Lord.
they are. But what's crazy to me
Mercy.
is like he's always beating on Haitians and persons of Haitian descent. And
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, caller, because one of the things he did ask, and I want to ask you if you think this would kind of help, right? He is asking for the government for some transparency on the amount of people who may have potentially gained Bahamian citizenship, and if those people who have gained Bahamian citizenship, are they coming back and forth on these flights? Because they're calling them tourists.
transparency is always good.
Yeah.
More transparency is always better, eh?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. So you agree with that?
There's no system that's perfect in the world, man. There's
Yeah.
none.
Yeah.
Okay? What you do is you have checks and balances,
Right.
you have policies, and you have persons to put those in practice, eh?
Yeah.
But we're all humans, right?
Yeah.
So humans are corrupt, eh? Our hearts are corrupt.
Or we could fall prey to
sometimes-
corruption. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we fall, we allow certain things to happen, you know?
Mhm.
But that gentleman, he always calls, and he always tries to blast Haitians and persons of Haitian descent in this country.
So you telling
I
him
regret- I
he
regret
need to just come to the family dinner one time and be a part of the
I just read one day that there's a show that
We could do that. We could do that.
displays the contributions
Of the Haitians.
of of Haitians,
Yeah, man.
of Haitian descent in this country, man.
Yeah.
It would be amazing. I truly believe that persons would start seeing Haitians and persons of Haitian descent in a more better light, man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate the call, man. I appreciate the call. So, Cleaver, you know.
Cleaver might jump off a bridge now.
No, man. Cleaver say, what?
Cleaver got rebranded.
Cleaver got his own narrative on that.
Cleaver got rebranded. Don't go.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with being Asian, man. Let's go back to
Nothing wrong with that, but the boy get rebranded on live news.
Yeah.
Man. Crazy.
Let's go back to the phone lines here. Call you live.
Good afternoon, Anku and Dr. Tinker.
Good afternoon, man.
Yeah, man, I believe everybody have the right to their opinion. And I also believe that every country have a right to their sovereignty, right? And I don't think it should be blend or mixed sovereignty. I don't know if even that is something that exists, right? But the Bahamas, just like every other nation, should be every day 24 hours highlighting and restoring where there isn't, right? Things that are of the Bahamas and Bahamas, because a tourist, and we say we have shantytown tourists now, right? Because the tourists that the minister claims are tourists. We in the Bahamas, we run the tourist industry for a long time, so we know where tourists them house, right? The tourists would, right? You can't go no place where the minister alleged, the way the minister said, and see the tourists that he alleged are here on vacation, right? They are on actual staycation, right? Because they never leave, and they transport them from island to island. And we know this, we see, because the truth is not in most payments. We know this because the island, the population all around the island are increasing rapidly and constantly.
And Bahamian women, they have insurance, so.
Right? And then, I don't know how we missed this, right? We had a boat came in the other day. Allegedly, there were about 200-300 persons on it, allegedly, right? And then all of a sudden, this government, it got so important, election got so important that they opened up registration for first-time voters on a holiday. You missed that, Uncle?
Yeah, I missed that. I didn't know it was a holiday.
August Monday is the holiday, and guess what? It's the beach holiday for Bahamians, right? So they open up the holiday.
So let me just say that's why I be confused sometimes, because in one bread I hear and you could register all year round, and another bread they open in registration. So which is it?
On a holiday, but
anyway.
You see, the point I'm trying to make, right, is we have an immigration problem in this country, and we like to dodge and skirt and do all the type of hips. We like to skirt around it, right?
Yeah.
But we could see we have an immigration problem. This is not about hate, Everybody, this is not about hate, because Bahamians love Haitians because we always had them, right? So it ain't about them being, It's about the what we see taking place and the attitude possessed that the ones who are now coming here. That's where the issue lies, because you have people who couldn't tell you where Blue Hill Road is, right? Or Market Street, right? But they drive in cars.
They running businesses.
They running businesses.
Okay then.
Right? So where are we going? Again, this is no hate. I love the Bahamas. I can't go no place else to live. People love the Bahamas. People love the Bahamas. That's why they are here. So we can't be Bahamians loving people just for coming here.
No, because we can't go to that country and do the same thing. That's the bottom line.
We can't go
to any other country and do the things that people come in this country and do. So
let's protect the sovereignty for the unborn Bahamians, so that they could possibly experience what it is, rather than when they come in this world, they only could be told, they only could be receiving stories on what the old Bahamas used to be, because it's now in a different position.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice day.
Thank you very much. So, Dr. Tinker, the focus is on immigration. This tax to say what he.
Well, the focus has always been on that
Yeah.
because it just leads to the distraction on against what the real issues are, because they still don't fix the immigration problems, and they still don't fix all the other problems. So
Yeah.
immigration is just it's a distraction.
Yeah. This tax to say, where is he getting his sauce from? Tonkum is not French. It's
That's what
all
the guy said.
It's all English, Anglo-Saxon. We got that whole show on Tonkum.
They say no, but I can prefer to be English Anglo-Saxon instead of African Asian.
Listen, we got to run to a break here on Guardian Radio today. I'm enjoying the show today. Our special guest is Dr. Rudolph Tinker, and we'll be back right after this. Keep it locked.
Cause we got some jokey leaders in a jokey town. A three-ring circus, what a bunch of clowns. They're joking and they're jiving, they're messing around. We got some jokey leaders, what a bunch of clowns.
New roads and airports are connecting our islands. Energy reform is bringing electricity prices down, while young Bahamians are stepping up, gaining new skills for new opportunities. Respect for workers. Support for entrepreneurs. We're modernizing energy and infrastructure across our islands and preparing Bahamians to succeed in a new economy. Transformations this big take time. Let's choose progress. Paid for by the PLP.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Jiving, they messing around. We got some jokey leaders. What a bunch of clowns.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today with your host, Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah, special guest, Dr. Rudolph Tinker. And we've been having a lively show and discussion on a number of topics. We got some callers that have been waiting, so let's run right back to the phone lines. Caller, you're live.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, okay. See, you have to do something. Why is it good? I don't think it's too far gone, right? Because I remember correctly a couple of years ago, and I know if I mentioned it to you. Remember what Dominican Republic had to do?
Yeah, I remember them. They got some.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
And that right on the border
Right.
where Haiti is.
Yeah.
And they had to say, look here, either we do something now, or we going to lose our country. Well, the Bahamas is right close by with that. And what Duncan say, I agree with him, because either we get it right, or next couple, you don't know. I could tell you for a fact, I've been around. Baintown was loaded with immigrants from late 90s. You had about 80% of people in Baintown then was those immigrants. I could tell you that because I've been around and one or two other areas. But I really call it show, if you do nothing, that's what's going to happen. And I hope we don't get to that point where the public has to do. Be very close to it. I'm going to tell you, and I don't know if we could do anything.
Right. I appreciate the call, and I agree.
Yeah.
Dr. Tinker, you're in the United States. We're watching ICE do what they do to affect change in immigration. Have you been exposed to any of the ICE movements?
No, the ICE, they've been all around the area. I mean, and Trump had backpedaled a little bit and tried to slow them down because they really were affecting the construction business, the manufacturing business, the farm business. I mean, Florida rely highly on these people. So, he had to scale it back a little bit because at the end of the day, America needs that void of 25 million people illegally to do a lot of jobs that Americans would do. So it's really how you're gonna balance it. If you take the Haitians out of the equation in the Bahamas, do you have people that do the actual work?
Yes, indeed.
You have to factor those in. If you take them out of the equation, will young Bahamians come up and do all the construction work or do the jobs that Bahamians don't want to do? So what, I think the Bahamas has never got to the point where it regulated immigration in a way where it could benefit all those undeveloped islands. Bring people in on an immigration labor program or work camp program, just like Bahamians used to come to the United States and work on labor camps, whether they're picking crops or something like that. They could do the same thing with not just Haitians, but people throughout Central America and the Caribbean. Hey, we need to do farming. We need to develop the family islands. You all come here, 6 months to a year visa, bring your whole family, and we want you all to develop these areas here. You know what I mean? But that's smart immigration where you actually could control and you be tough on illegal immigration. Because, and to be honestly and true, you can't have one population, the same group of people, overpopulating your country, especially when it's a particular level of people coming in, because it does affects the country overall. But if you have smart immigration where you're bringing in some doctors, some lawyers, some this, some that, and all these other people, the country grew. The projection of the country could be stronger. But it's going to take the government to regulate that, and America has that constantly. America has the immigration lottery. Even though we have President Trump, we still have the immigration lottery. It also has ways to apply for different visas depending on your education, your skill. You invent something to keep the growth going. Because if not, your country becomes stagnant.
Right. And we got to
especially in technology. I mean, Americans are not advancing in technology at all.
Right.
So if it's not for Chinese and Indians who would come over here on these visas, we'd be way behind the ball when it comes to technology.
And I mean, labor shortages between 1943 and 1965. You had over 30,000 Bahamians who migrated to the U.S. to farm, work under a program they call the contract. We all hear about the contract.
Right here in Palm Beach County in my district. A city called Pahokee, Belglade, Clewiston, South Bay, and they still there today.
Okay, now this mass departure, followed by the local post-World War II tourism and construction boom, left a vacuum in the Bahamian agricultural sector. All right, so then you had the Bahamas' per capita income historically eclipsed Haiti's, making it an attractive destination for workers fleeing political and economic turmoil during the Duvalier regimes in 1950s and 60s. They started coming here. Then you had in the late 1960s and 70s, some Bahamian politicians provided work permits to supporters for unlimited unskilled labor to replace local workers on farms.
See, and that's the problem there. They took the unskilled labor because during the Duvalier era, many high-skilled Haitians went to America.
Okay.
The lawyers, the dentists, the nurses. I mean, a lot. But even during the Duvalier, not probably the end, but before and during, Haiti was a prominent tourist destination.
Yes.
If you go back into the history, Haiti was almost one of the #1 countries in the Caribbean.
Right.
Had a tourism system developed way before the Bahamas.
So the Haitian laborers became the backbone of the family island's agriculture industry, performing menial tasks like weeding, fruit picking, vegetable harvesting, jobs Bahamians increasingly avoided. Then you got into the shanty towns because this is where they were living, the squatter camps.
Because the government didn't properly manage it. They allowed the shanty towns to grow up. They had set up work camps. Bahamians came to work.
He's coming in and out.
That was controlled by the farms.
Right.
So they had a play went to.
So Dr. Tinker. Sorry, you were coming in and out.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I do hear what you're saying. The government, we kind of let it grow unfettered. And that's where you had the mud and the pigeon pea and these different things happening in Abaco. And so now we're at this point, right? But let's go back to the phone lines here. The phone lines are lit. Caller, you live here on Guardian Radio today.
My brother Anku, how are you?
I'm well, man. I say I hear your voice today. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm here. Dr. Tinker, how are you, sir? Okay, I guess he can hear me.
Yeah, he could hear you. I think he was having some
But
in and
brother
out.
Anku,
Yeah.
I want to make an appeal to all of the brothers out there. You might not have to agree with me. I'm well over 70 now, so it really doesn't matter for me. Pay attention. This group of feminists, they are about to take the rights of what God have already designed. Regardless of what party they may be ratified for, they all have the same common goal, to be a part of the team and the policy making. And the liberals are along with them, and that is marital rape. One of the leaders already alluded that if he becomes prime minister, that will be first on his agenda. And I'm quite sure he has been influenced by this group of feminists and liberals. Brothers, I'm asking you to pay attention. Listen, one also said that the singles will get $200 a month. Lord help me, I would like to know where this money will be coming from.
They say they can restructure how the money is being spent, and then they'll get it to work like that. That's what.
But why is it not promoting family? That is where the problem is. Family structure.
They should give us families $200. They should give us families $200.
From your family.
Yeah.
Husband and wife.
Right.
Dr. Tinker, how could you allow someone to make that statement giving single mothers $200 rather than family, husband and wife would need it? Brothers, you all better pay attention to this group of feminists, regardless of what color they are. They are about on a mission to tell God that he make a mistake. I'll hang up and listen. I would like for Brother Tinker to respond to as to why not family rather than single mothers. I'd like to hear his response.
Dr. Tinker?
Now, where were they getting? Who's paying the 200? The man or the government?
No. So the leader of the opposition, Michael Pintat, made a statement regarding potentially paying single mothers $200 a month if the FNM was to win. So then the question becomes, well, where is this going to come from? Some people are estimating that it could be upwards of, 24 million. I don't know. Is that a quarter or a month? I got to look it up. But
women might be dumping their boyfriend just to be single.
Hey, boyfriends might be dumb. Hey, we can act like we single. We can act like you break up. You know what I mean? People getting divorced.
We need that 200, boy. Tell them like you single. Put a ring on it.
So that's
the government wants to pay this.
Well, this is what the leader of the opposition is proposing. I mean, he did explain. I'm pulling up some stuff now, but go ahead.
What's the retirement? And the retirement's 200.
You mean for what like pension?
What old age? Yeah.
Roughly. Some people may get a little bit more.
So you get a single woman who didn't contribute. I mean, I guess not in a bad way. Didn't really contribute to someone who worked forever the same amount you give a pensioner. Yeah, I think that might be a pie in the sky dream. Unless he double in retirement people. Well, the retirement women can be retired and single. So
that was the next thing.
She can double dip.
Boy.
If she getting 400, well, baby, you better stay single.
Yeah.
Married anymore. We ain't married anymore. That's it. The marriage business going down the drain.
Yeah, so as late as March 26th, the F&M party has pledged to implement the Working Parent Child Support Initiative if they are elected into government. Key details, the target group, single-income households, particularly unmarried or low-income Bahamian mothers. Eligible mothers would receive $200 per month for the first 2 years of their child's life to assist with high child care costs that often prevent new mothers from returning to the workforce. The party claims the program, estimated to cost $12 to $14 million annually, would be funded by reducing government spending on constituency contracts. They're saying that's where it's going to come from. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back to the phone lines.
That ain't sound too hot.
Caller, you're live. Caller going once. All right, let's go to the next caller. Caller, you are live.
Hey, Uncle, how you doing, man?
I'm great, man. Thanks for calling.
Blessings. I always listen to your show.
Thank you.
First time caller.
Thank you.
I'm not going to be long.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to a man who I always hear calling the radio, and he talks about the organic family.
Mm-hmm.
I need to ask him a question.
Mm-hmm.
Where's his family?
My Lord.
Daryl is saying I need a picture, and I want to see you and the family.
Mm.
I move from there. Secondly, the leader of opposition made a lot of promises that I believe if he was given the chance, I believe this country would be in a better position.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those are single mothers. And let me go back. We've been having single mothers here from time immemorial.
Yeah.
That ain't going to change.
No.
That's not going to change. I don't care how much we preach
Mm-hmm.
and we talk about this and all. That ain't going to change.
No.
We got to have women who have children out of wedlock.
Yeah.
We just need to have some good fathers who can take care of them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he said that we will support single mothers who are struggling to take care of that child because maybe the father is not around.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's a plus, not just single mothers, but also mothers who first time having a child will be able to be assisted. If you got a problem with assisting your mothers, I wish my mother had that kind of support. At my age now, 69 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I wish my mother had that kind of support. Take care of her children that she had, 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, if you're going to make noise about somebody collecting 200 and not making noise about a 50-something million dollars for travel, then you got a problem.
Yeah.
You got a serious
And
problem.
let me say this: they already have rental assistance up to $1,200 maximum per 12 months. You also have
they have
utility
the rental
assistance,
assistance, but
$600 per year. You have uniform and footwear, $100 to $150 per student, depending on the grade level. So this is adding to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all of it. But we must be about helping our people to come out of the slump
Yeah.
that they're in.
Yeah.
And for me, I've been around long enough that outside toilet, we should not be seeing them any longer.
Yeah.
They should be done away with in your area, the area that your church is and all of that. We must come to the point where we move away. And I'm going to say this, and I'm a cut. This young man, who I believe God will give the opportunity to lead this country, do not look at colors. He called Grand Bahama, go in Grand Bahama, do a survey, and you will find out that he helps everybody.
That's what a true leader does. Yeah.
And that is why we are searching for a leader in a new dispensation, a new generation.
Mm-hmm.
That generation of the 60s and the 50s and all, it's time now that we get a generation of leaders who are thinkers, are visionaries, and who got the country at heart. And I close to this.
I appreciate the call.
Michael C. Pinter and Shannon Cartwright,
Mm-hmm.
who I support, lead this country after the general election. I believe that.
I appreciate the call, and you definitely you're noted. Your sentiments are noted. Go ahead, Tinker. We got to run to a break, but go ahead.
Yeah. So listen, these programs are good, but I always look a lot like this. Okay, $200. Number one, that ain't much money at all in the Bahamas. I don't think you could fill a basket of groceries with $200.
No.
Okay, so you got $200, you got rental assistance, you got this, you got that. Why just not make the country better? Because I really don't think Bahamians don't want handouts. They just want a better opportunity.
Yeah. Let's run to this break, and I'm going to come back in on that point. Guardian Radio today has a special guest, Dr. Rudolph Tinker. Again, my name is Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. East III, also known as Cahoon on Kusara. Keep it locked.
In a jokey town, a tree ring circus, what a bunch of clowns.
At the heart of every great meal is a simple yet powerful idea: quality. At Del Monte, we are committed to cultivating quality, growing the freshest, most nutritious vegetables, fruits, and tomatoes for your family. With non-GMO ingredients and BPA-free packaging, you can trust that every can is packed with goodness. So whether it's a quick snack or a hearty family dinner, Del Monte brings wholesome flavor to your table. Look for it in your favorite food store. Del Monte, fresh taste, smart choices. Distributed by Thompson Trading.
At Shield Insurance, we protect what matters most to you and your family. With over 10 years of trusted service, we offer coverage for your motor, home, marine, construction, business, liability, health, and life needs. Our dedicated team is with you every step of the way, ensuring a smooth, stress-free experience. Don't take a chance. Put it in our hands. For more information, contact us at 356-7202 for our Nassau office and 352-5945 for our Freeport office.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
When I say a tree ring circus, that's how them clowns just be. Round here taking picture with every fool they see. When they in the house, they joking, laughing around. All they need is them big shoes. They'll be the perfect clown. Makeup on their face.
And we're back here on Guardian Radio today. Our special guest, Dr. Rudolph Tinker. Dr. Tinker, you said, why not make the country better? Why not bring the cost of living down? Why not just, what's with all this handout stuff? That's what I'm hearing you say.
That's exactly what I'm saying, man. Too many handouts, and people tend to become content with these handouts, and then every year that budget of the handouts is going to keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. I think that's one of the main things any government needs to address is just the cost of living. I mean, people are busting their tails only to pay, for these taxes and expensive food, expensive gas, expensive utilities, expensive school fees. I mean, the list just goes on, and it causes a lot of cracks, and people are falling through these cracks. So I think the intention is great. I agree with the last caller. We gotta protect our mothers, and men need to step up and do their part for the ones who are not. Many are, and the women who stopping the men from doing their part, y'all need to stop that foolishness too. All right, this is two-way street. But let's go back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you're live. Caller going once. Go ahead.
Good afternoon to you and sir.
Hey.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I just want to add something to previous caller and to help bring some explanation to what the F&M leader spoke to as relates to single mothers.
Sure.
As a matter of fact, a single parent. So
Yeah.
my father finds himself in a position, and this came about where persons who have kids are not able to put them into preschools because the government preschools were full, and private preschools they just could not afford. This is more an assistance to help them. This may not go directly into their pocket. It may cost them to enroll a child into a preschool and it goes to the preschool, that sort of thing. That really actually I'm trying to assist support, trying to make sure kids are educated and safe and have something to eat. And that is the beginning of trying to put people in a position where they don't have to receive handouts. They'll be in a better position to go to work. A lot of persons don't go to work, and they got to stay home because they can't afford to put the kids in preschool.
Yeah.
So a survey is done, and based on some persons who are canvassing support and bring back reports to the leader, the group got together and they determined there's something they can do to probably put a dent in that particular situation. So it ain't just about the single mothers, some single fathers too.
Yeah, it says Working Parent Child Support Initiative. It doesn't say working mothers. Yeah. Yeah.
It came out as mothers first, but after other persons started to say, listen, man, I have persons who while I'm canvassing support who's saying that there's single fathers who are struggling also.
Yeah.
Not able to put these kids in preschool, and sometimes they got to stay home when the kid is sick and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so this is just an effort to help them do better. But this money is very easy to find. Very, very easy to find. $40 million a month is a joke to find compared to the way our present government is squandering money and wasting money. If you need to go back to the sovereign wealth fund, put it back where it's supposed to be, let people benefit from it, and stop calling it an investment fund.
This sounds like this way from Fox Hilly.
Famously benefit from investment.
What you name caller?
The one credit you could give Dr. Minnis and the former FNM administration, he established a sovereign wealth fund.
Oh, this is the fella from this is the union. This is the union fella.
Yeah, that's a joint venture thing. Get your own boy joint venture,
Oh, you sound like it. You sound like it.
Yeah. This me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate the clarity, though.
It was intended for when we make money off of the airspace and the whatever natural resources funds come in. It was supposed to go into a sovereign wealth fund for families to benefit from, not an investment fund that they can't benefit from.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So the money is easy to find.
Yeah. Some people say just cut the travel budget right there. You know what I mean? Appreciate the call there. Caller, let's go to the phone. Let's get to this call and we let Dr. Tinker wrap up the show. Go ahead, caller. Caller going once. You only got about 30 seconds. Go ahead, caller. Final caller, go ahead. All right. So, Dr. Tinker, we've discussed a lot on today's show. Only got about 2 minutes left. And, based on everything we've talked about, from registering to vote to the living assistance, et cetera, that the opposition is proposing, the fact that the House will be dissolved on Wednesday and we'll be in full election mode May 12th.
Full swing.
Yeah, full swing. What say you?
Listen, I'm gonna say it like this. For me, who born there, grew up there, family had businesses there, and still have businesses. The direction of the Bahamas is it's in a downward spiral for the common man that's in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bahamas, I could remember in the 80s and 90s, and the people before me was a proud group of Bahamians that didn't really accept handout on any level. Whereas you have a government now that wants to keep bandaging and keep giving people handouts to sucker them in to vote in a particular way, because you get gimme. This is not good.
Yeah.
This is not good. So if you make the country better, where people could afford to work, where people could afford to take care of themselves, where if a man have a child with a woman and he doesn't take care of the woman, will bring his butt in court, send a mandatory a child, and I think they probably already have it already, a child allowance or whatever per kid, where if the guy made the baby, he should be responsible. The government should have to be responsible for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have to start dropping the buck where the buck falls. You make the baby, you pay. You don't pay, I put you in jail. I take your driver's license away. I take your passport away. Until you earn up, once we verify that it's your kid, well, you're going to pay for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Turn to the government for everything. Because if you look in the United States and you see how the food stamps and this, I forget what they call it, but when you take all these government benefits, how that's affected, especially African American communities and other minority and poor kids, it affected them in a big way, where once people get on rental assistance, they want to stay on that for life.
You can't blame him some of that. But listen, I feel you. I feel you. I mean, it's a very complex situation. I do agree with the points you've raised, and I wish we had more time to really unpack.
We need to do it. Yeah, we need to. This requires a full show because it's pretty. This is something that not just affects us now. This will affect us in the future if we grow, if we continue to grow this need-based assistance for Bahamians.
Yeah. Our special guest. Our special guest today, Dr. Rudolph Tinker. I wish we had more time. Again, my name is Dr. Cleveland W. Eneas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. The Talking Heads are up next, Naughty and MJ, so keep it locked here on 96.9 Guardian Radio. Fresh news, smart.